We are live. Awesome. So today we're going to be chatting about what was I going to say? Today we're going to be chatting about the Action Agents, which is basically our group at EXP Realty. But I want to wait for everyone to come in, give everyone a chance to hop in here. All everyone's being notified. So yeah, today we're going to chat about that. If you guys have any questions, we'll do a little bit of Q&A at the end as well. So again, do not be shy. Let me open up my chat. Do not be shy. So let me give a little backstory here. Mel and I are full-time, Mel's my wife. If you're watching this and you're not familiar with us, Mel is my wife, Melanie. And we have been doing real estate. We've been real estate investors for a combined, I think, over 23 years. Probably more. We've been saying that for a while. But anyway, so we're full-time real estate investors. And I believe it was a year ago this past September or August-ish, that I decided, you know what, I'm going to get my real estate license. People had mentioned that to me for a while. They said, you guys are doing transactions in real estate, you're buying, we don't like selling as much, not going to lie. However, sometimes it is monopoly, right? So sometimes you do end up liquidating and selling assets. Buy low, sell high, right? What is it? 5 greenhouses, 1 red hotel, or is it the opposite? 5 red houses, 1 green hotel. Doesn't matter. You guys know what I'm saying though, monopoly. So yeah, decided to get my real estate license, and I'm going to be talking about that today because I've been talking about it for years. People had mentioned it to me, Dave, you're doing so much real estate, why don't you get your license? I never saw the need to. And I used to have the same argument with them, not argument, but I would say to them, with that same logic, why don't you get your license if you're going to be doing real estate? It was like, well, why don't I become a mortgage broker as well? If I'm going to be doing real estate, why don't I also become an insurance broker? Why don't I become a lawyer? Why don't I become an accountant, right? That's kind of what I'd say to them as a joke. However, when I stumbled upon EXP Realty, that's when I thought, you know what? This made sense. There's multiple streams of income. There's revenue share. There's stock awards. Their commission split is very attractive. So that is what basically pushed me along the route of joining EXP Realty. So today, and again, if you're going to be a real estate investor, I just want to make this clear because I get this all the time on social. Do I need to have my real estate license to be a real estate investor? No. They're completely separate. You do not need that, right? Mel and I bought hundreds of units in 5 different countries before I got my license. So just so you know, you do not need it. However, it can be an addition to your portfolio. So again, ask questions in the chat. I'm going to be sharing my screen. We'll have Q&A at the end. So let me go ahead and do that. I just want to make sure. Whoops, because I'm just getting my screen ready. So if someone can let me know in the chat, do you guys see my screen right now? Do you guys see that? I just want to make sure. I like your program. Very good. Thank you, Lopez. Odu, hello. Can you guys see my presentation? Thank you, Jordan. Okay, good. Like I said, feel free to ask questions. I'll be kind of in and out of the chat here. But yeah, let me go into this view. Slideshow. There we go. All right. You guys can still see it now that I went to slideshow. I just want to make sure. It's my first time doing it on this way. So can someone let me know you can still see my presentation when I go to full view? Good to go? Someone give me a yes. Someone give me a yay. Someone give me a C. Awesome. Thank you, Jordan. Thumbs up. Okay. So Action Agents, right? Again, it's a real estate agent, group community that Mel and I have created through EXP Realty. So I'll go through it. What you'll learn today, we'll go a full breakdown of how EXP works, why EXP is the fastest growing brokerage in the world, and why I joined it, like I was just mentioning, and what us at the Action Agents do differently. So if you are new to Mel and I, if you just jumped on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, wherever you're, because I'm live on all our social media platforms. Here's a little 30-second elevator pitch about Mel and I. So full-time real estate investors. We've now bought over 240 units in 5 different countries: Canada, US, Costa Rica, Mexico, Dominican Republic. We're top real estate investors, coaches, mentors, keynote speakers. We've got over 700,000 followers on social media. I got my license, I believe it was last September. No, it was a year this past September. And yeah, Mel and I were able to quit our jobs in our 30s. So some pretty cool stuff. Like I mentioned, we met some pretty cool people. We met Grant Cardone, Kim Kiyosaki. We actually had dinner with her. That was amazing. Pace, A-Rod, Hulk Hogan, Mike Holmes, Michelle Romano. Actually next week, no, February 15th, 16th, we're speaking at an event with her in Calgary, and Barb Carkram. So we met some pretty cool people due to real estate. Now, entry point to eXp Realty. Okay. Entry point to eXp Realty. Why does it matter? Because, and I'll explain eXp, in a nutshell as we go through it. It matters who your sponsor is because that will determine what you get access to. Okay, so you'll get access to everything that eXp offers. Doesn't matter who you join. However, what that person offers and what you will get in part of that will matter in regards to who you join. So I joined directly through Mike Sherrard with the Wolfpack. If you haven't looked them up, go through YouTube, go down the rabbit hole. They're one of the biggest groups at eXp. Okay. I had interviewed multiple groups, teams at eXp to see who did I want to join to create the best value add proposition, because we have obviously our coaching, mentoring experience, knowledge, and we bring a totally different element, right, to the game. So when I met with them, I decided to team up. I'm like, hey, you guys got the real estate agent stuff, the pitches, the scripts, the social media. Well, we have social media too, but all of that, you guys have it dialed in, locked in. And I was like, Mel and I can bring the income properties. We know income properties, creative financing, other people's money, scaling a portfolio. So joining together, if someone joins through us at the Action Agent, so myself or anyone that's part of our Action Agent community, right? I think we're about 15 strong right now, 15. You get everything that Mel and I offer. So for example, let's just make this up. Let's say if you were to join Connor and Mike directly, or anyone in the Wolfpack that is not necessarily under our umbrella, okay? You would still get everything that they offer, which is amazing, okay? But what I'm saying to you is, if you're going to join them anyways, you might as well join someone who is part of the Action Agents, because then you get everything that we offer at the Action Agents, which we'll go through today, plus everything that they offer. So the value add is just so much stronger. Again, if you're going to do something, if you're going to get something anyway, which is the Wolfpack and all of their beautiful training, you might as well get the Action Agents and all of our coaching and training and mentoring as well. Okay, see what I'm saying? The entry point matters. Experience. I kind of went through it, so I'll go through quickly. There's a lot of social media training. Mel and I have had our experience. I kind of beat the slide on that one. I went quickly, but what's in it for you? And we'll go through this a lot of different times. So there's tightly knit groups of agents. You get our OPM action system with creative financing. You get private coaching through different people in the Wolfpack. You get group calls with me. You get group, Q&A with me. We help showcase you, like Destiny, who's part of our group. She was actually in Ontario, has now moved to the States. She was posting inside our group, and hey, we're sharing it on social media, right? Again, we'll go through a lot of this stuff today. So the thing I love the most about eXp, and this was one of the things that caught my attention when I was, I decided, I'm going to become an agent, because I liked eXp's concept of ownership. I like owning buildings. I love owning assets, right? It's kind of an addiction that Mel and I have. We love buying income properties. And that's exactly what eXp is. You get ownership in the brokerage, right? If you're a real estate agent somewhere else, ask if you have ownership in the brokerage. I'm pretty 99% sure they're going to say no, right? At eXp, you actually get ownership in the brokerage in the form of stock awards, which we'll go through, okay? Now, let me go back. See the last line there? I love this. eXp is an agent-owned, there's my French, agent-owned, agent-grown brokerage. And again, you'll see what I mean by that. Now, the Icon Award, this is something, honestly, when they announced the Icon Award, that tripled the agent count in the brokerage within 1 year. Okay, and let me go through what the Icon Award is. So stock awards instead of trophies. I'll actually give you an example later. There's a picture of me when I got my, 80-20 split. So at EXP, it is an 80-20 split. And I actually have numbers down the road to show you. Okay. So I have a slide that really, if you're visual, it'll show you actual commissions and actual breakdowns. So it's an 80-20 split, meaning once you get your commission, 80% goes to you, the real estate agent, right? 20% goes to EXP, the brokerage, right? They got to pay the bill somehow. So 80-20 split is what I'm getting at with a $16,000 cap. Okay. And I'll go through that after as well. Once you cap, it ends up becoming 100% commission. And then after that, if you do 20 additional transactions after capping, that's when you become an Icon Award. And if you're in a luxury market, there's a different calculation for that too. Okay. Now EXP history. So where was that again? Where'd it go here? When did they announce? I forget where it is. Yes, 2016. That's when they announced the what did I just say? The Icon Award, which tripled the agent count, right? So since in that exact year, it tripled. Like, isn't that very powerful? Now, EXP is on explosive growth. So right now, there's about 80, just shy of 90,000 agents in the US. I got an email from EXP. I think there was about 5,000 or 54 across Canada. That was a couple months ago, so I'm sure it's growing. I'd have to look that number up, but it's in all those provinces. It's in the 50 states, so it is growing. Okay, so EXP is closing the sales volume, agent growth among competitors. I won't spend too much time here, and this is why EXP is the future. Okay, so for massive organizations, because a lot of people will tell me all the time, Dave, real estate is a different game. You know, you might be able to go cloud-based with some things, but not real estate, and that has been the mentality for a lot of other platforms or businesses, but it works for every industry is what I'm getting at. And I'm going to show you some examples, because if it's worked in these industries, why wouldn't it work here? And it is working here. So example, Blockbuster. Everyone thought, what, you're going to stream a movie at your house? Who doesn't have Netflix now, or whatever all the other competitors are called, right? Sears and Amazon, right? Sears went away. We all used to get the Sears catalog. Who would have ever thought that would go away? Well, here comes Amazon, right? Taxis and Uber, that has taken a huge, sorry, the snow just fell off the roof beside me here. A huge bite out of their market. Zoom, right? We typically, I do Zooms all the time with people, right? I go live with our action family and our action agents in Zoom all the time. And I talk to people all throughout the world. Short-term rentals, Airbnb. Mel and I have short-term rentals, and that's taking a bite out of the hotel industry as well. So again, this can happen in any industry. Now, why did you become an agent, or why are you thinking of becoming an agent? A lot of people will say two different things. Sorry, I'm making sure that no one got hurt with the snow falling off there. They say for two different reasons, for wealth and for lifestyle, because a lot of people will say, Dave, I don't want to sit at a desk 9 to 5. I want to go do showings. I want to go get listings. I want to mingle with people, right? Well, in order to be able to get that wealth, you have to follow this quadrant. And I'm not making this up. This isn't anything. Okay. So duplication, you have to be able to duplicate yourself, your time, your efforts. Income properties, that's why I love it. Equity, again, income properties or ownership in the brokerage, residual income, and multiple streams of income. That is the wealth quadrant. Now, most other brokerages, and I'm not picking on them, it's just a reality, right? And this is why I didn't join them, because I was offered multiple times over the years. Most other brokerages, you have one stream of income, which is you hustle, you bustle, you trade your time, you get a listing, you sell it, boom, you get that commission. Time for money, one stream of income, right? EXP, you get to do both. You get to also make money, but then have that lifestyle, so that, which means when you aren't necessarily just trading your time for money, you can still be making money. The same way with real estate, right? With income properties, it's so parallel. 3 streams of income from EXP. I'll be able to help you add the 4th one, right? Which is buying income properties for yourself using creative financing. But let's just stick to EXP. So number 1, commissions. Yeah, I'm not making, you're thinking, Dave, yeah, it's real estate agent. Obviously, you're going to get commissions. Number 2, equity. Stock awards, like I mentioned, which is very, very unique in my opinion. And then 3rd, going ahead of myself, revenue share. Okay, 3 streams of income that you can make at EXP. Now, let's talk about the different ways you can do it. And I'll top left here. So the growth incentive program, And this is totally optional, right? Excuse me. If you do end up, you're incentivized if you end up bringing people over to EXP. You don't have to whatsoever, but I'll kind of go through it. Okay. So $200 when stock award, when you get your first closing. So this is, even if you bring someone over or not, when you close your first deal, like you're going to do at any brokerage, you get $200 of stock award. Okay. When an agent caps, so let's say if you did bring an agent over to EXP like you would anywhere else, you're actually going to get $400 when they cap. Okay. And then $400 for directly attracting another agent after the agent closes their first transaction. So you'll get $200 for your first transaction, $400 when you cap, and $400 when you directly bring another agent over and they do their first transaction. Icon stock award at the bottom. I kind of touched on it earlier. This is when you have paid EXP basically $16,000 in commission. So remember that 80-20 split? Once that 20% hits $16,000, and I believe the quick math on that is once you've done $80,000 in commission, right? 20% of that is 16. Once you've done that and you've capped out, meaning EXP does not charge you the 80-20 split anymore. It's more of like a transaction, and I'll go through that. It's a couple $100 or so, more just for reviewing the deal. You've now capped out, and now you're basically at a 100% commission brokerage, right? Or as close to it as possible. Revenue share plan. So you know what? I'll keep going through it. Remember I told you earlier I was going to show you something. So I got this. It's a postcard, and I like it. It's cool, right? And then in the different groups, you're recognized. The thing I love the most is, and I put a trophy there. At most other brokerages, that's what you'd get. You'd get a trophy, you'd get a plaque, you'd get something to put on your wall. And yeah, it feels good in a second, but it's not contributing to that thing that you're looking for, which is the wealth. Right. So I put this here because, again, thank you for giving these out, EXP, but thank you even more for giving me stock awards. Okay. Which is obviously another source of income. Now, the revenue share chart. Look at this, and I want you to not memorize, but think of a couple of things as I go towards the numbers. Okay. So tier 1, 3.5%. Tier 2 is 3.8%. Plus 0.2, we can all agree that's 4%. So tier 1 is 3.5, tier 2 is 4%. So let's make up a scenario. Okay, tier 1 is, let's say you bring, someone comes in to, you're a sponsor to someone else, like you would do at any other brokerage. They would fall on your tier 1 line. Now, let's say that same person has someone that joins EXP through them. They would be on your second tier. It's probably easier to go through an example. So let's make this up. Commission breakdown. Let's say John joins you at EXP. Okay. So let's use some easy numbers. John closes a deal. It's a $10,000 commission. Okay. Easy numbers. So again, 80-20 split. John would get $8,000, right? 80%. And then EXP would get $2,000, right? 80-20 split. Now the revenue share, again, I'm just using very numbers. It's going to vary, but $350 would be the revenue share. Oh, there we go. Sarah, let's say John has a friend, Sarah, who calls him and says, "Hey, I'm thinking of joining a brokerage. I'm looking at doing something, and how do you like it over there?" And John says, "It's great. All the benefits, the different revenue streams, all of that stuff." So Sarah ends up joining, which would now be on your second tier line. So let's do the same thing, $10,000 commission. Sarah gets $8,000, 80-20 split. EXP, easy math, $2,000, okay? Revenue share, remember the 4%, $400. Now, the really cool thing here is EXP has a very cool model, meaning that, and I can't think of the word, but in their regulations or in their, I can't think of that specific word, they're literally almost mandated to pay out, I believe it's somewhere around 50% of what comes in paid back out to the agents. Again, don't quote me on that. Excuse me. But that is very powerful. That is why they're able to do this. And that is why so many agents are flocking to them. Now, 7 tiers above you. So most other brokerage, again, I've talked to a lot of brokers and people that are running brokerages. It is a tough job. Not going to lie, it's a very tough job. No pun intended, but my hat goes off to them. But what I'm getting at here is two things. The 7 tiers above you. So everyone's thinking the tiers below. Think about the 7 tiers above. If you join us, myself, or someone else who's part of the Action Agents, right? You get us as part of your 7 tiers above. You would get Wolfpack, tickle my throat, etc. Right? So all that training and coaching and different access, plus everything that EXP offers. Okay. The other thing that I love about EXP is the brokers there. Like when I call my brokers, like I'm licensed in Ontario right now. So when I call my broker, if I have questions, they are strictly brokers, right? They're not trying to do marketing, trying to do compliance, trying to keep finances in order, trying to do social media. They are strictly brokers who answer your questions on salary. Okay, so you see where I'm going here? They have time to answer you, whether you're doing 1 transaction a year or you're doing 100 transactions a year. They're going to take time to answer you. Now, I'm going to show you a picture here. Those of you who don't know us, Mel and I went through a life-changing event. Okay, and if you're thinking, Dave, you were just talking about a real estate license here. Why am I looking at a car crash? This is because life can change very quickly. So I believe, 2018, Mel and I were on the way to Niagara Falls. This happened in Vaughan, Tesson Overpass, right just outside the amusement park there, Canada's Wonderland. This happened like that. And what I'm getting here is, and you'll see in the next slide, life can happen very quickly, good or bad. And this is why at EXP, it's also a generational wealth play. So it's so parallel to the income properties that I'm constantly buying because I want to create generational wealth for the kids, right? And I'm showing you these pictures not to flex. It's just we get to do a lot of stuff because of all the sources of income we have. But at the bottom here, that's the most important part, okay? The revenue share is willable. So for example, Mel's not a licensed real estate agent. I am. And I'm building up my revenue share through the Action Agent, which is awesome. It's a part of EXP. If I pass away, or when I pass away, right? Let's be real. When I pass away one day, as long as Mel gets her license within 12 months after that, I can leave behind in my will my revenue share. So think about that. I'm going to continue doing this for however many years, hopefully as many years as possible. When I pass away, Mel, as long as I leave it behind my will, and obviously anyway, as long as she gets her license within 12 years after that, 12 years, asterisk, 12 months, not 12 years. Within 12 months after that, she can literally take over my revenue share, never do a transaction, and still continue to get revenue from that. This is what I mean. Isn't like, as soon as I heard this, guys, I was like, I'm getting my license and I'm joining EXP. So like, these are the things that made me jump over. If you're thinking, Dave, how come you got your license? This is exactly the type of stuff. Generational wealth. Okay. Sorry, I get pumped up. And I'm French, so I talk with my hands. Continuous cash flow, right? Create that passive income. I think we touched on that. So you're going to get social media training from ourselves, from the Wolfpack, right? Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. I'm probably missing some, but you're going to get all that, how to do that. Now, myself and Mel, we've got over 711,000 followers on all our social media platforms. We're verified on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. I think that's Threads, LinkedIn. So again, we'll be able to help you with some of that as well. I'll have you on my YouTube channel, right? If you're producing in that and you need help, or you've got listings and you're vocal and you need help, like Miwa. Miwa is a cool story. She actually lived in Toronto. She lived in Toronto. She's from South Korea. She immigrated to Toronto, found it too cold, and then literally moved to California. I've had her on the YouTube. Same with Daryl. So again, anything that we can do to get you exposure on social media, like I was mentioning, Destiny, she's part of our Action Agents and our Action family. She had an open house and we're helping her get that out on social. I think she got under contract. She did actually. So good for her. You get the house flipping course. So Connor Steinbrook, who's also part of the Wolfpack, you get his house flipping course as part of it. He's a big house flipper out in Texas. So again, these are the value adds that you get over and above EXP. Creative financing training. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help show you how to do our OPM action system, how to buy income properties using other people's money, creative financing. Additional training. There's so much training through EXP. Again, there's different portals and there's training every single day. I won't show you that today, but if you're interested, send me a message and I can show you more. Or if you were brought here by someone else who's part of our Action Agents, reach out to them and they can show you more as well. Again, partnered up with that powerful group, the Wolf Pack, so that we could help you with your transactional needs and just be that best value add possible. So let's go over some fees here. So for Canada, again, quick and dirty, if you need more explanations, just reach out to me. So 80-20 split, the $16,000 cap. Again, if you need more precise explanations, don't hesitate. So once you are capped out, it's roughly $250 per cap transaction fee. I don't want to get too much into the weeds here. Standard cost. So the first month is about $199, and then after that, it's about $139 a month brokerage fee. I think mine comes up to, is it 154 or 174 a month? Something like that. US, kind of the same thing. Once you cap out, there's transaction fees. That's $149 a month, and then cloud brokerage fee after that, every month additional after that. Again, very reasonable. And this gives you so much stuff, gives you access to the online portal, KV Core. I can't think of the other one. Typically I show it, but again, I wanted to keep it nice and quick today to keep people's attention span, right? So why join EXP and Action Agent? Just like we had mentioned before, multiple streams of income with EXP, equity, revenue share. The commission split is very attractive in my opinion. It's the fastest growing brokerage in the world. You get KV Core for free. It is a beast. I believe it's like $8,000 if you purchase this all on your own. You get the house flipping course. You get social media courses. You get our OPM action system. You get to ask us questions, Q&A, the groups, intros, all of that stuff. Okay, so if this is something you are interested in, definitely take the QR code there. My team put the link for the form as well in the chat, so that people can reach out to us. Again, please, if you did come today from someone who is already part of the Action Agents, reach back out to them. Okay, so have the conversation with them about joining the Action Agents. So yeah, I just wanted to have a very quick conversation on that. About here, let me stop sharing. Let me go back over here. Any questions, guys? I know I went through it pretty quick, but I just wanted to see if anyone had any questions or anyone was, had any scenarios or wanted to go through something in regards to getting your real estate license and possibly joining the Action Agents. All right. Look at some questions here. Lopez, I like your program. Very good. Thank you, Lopez. Appreciate that. Jordan, yes, you could hear me. What is the best way to buy and find the first property? That honestly, we show it. There's property all over the place. It's easy to find on market, off market, pocket listings. Honestly, I still look on the MLS system. Where'd it go? Yeah, so Lopez, I still look on all sorts. Like I still look on Realtor.ca, Realtor.com, LoopNet, Zillow. It's really knowing how to maneuver those platforms. Okay. Bill, I want to be a real estate agent. Oh, yes, I think we had Billy. I know you're part of the Action family. So first steps is going to be literally getting licensed. Getting licensed in whatever province or state you are in. And then from there, once you've gone through all the tests and the exams and you are eligible to be licensed, it's then you're gonna have to find a brokerage. And if you're interested in EXP at that point, then yeah, definitely we can chat and give you the next steps on that. Jordan, the yearly and monthly fees. Jordan, did you get your answer or your question answer when I shared that sheet? Are you good? I just want to make sure you're good. How long does it take to get your license? This is going to be so dependent on which province or state you're looking at, honestly. So I've done mine in 3 different places now. Alberta, which was 2 months. Then I am now licensed in Ontario. Ontario can be anywhere from 6 months to a year. It depends. I did mine in Montana, but then I didn't go ahead with my E2 visa, so I didn't have my visa to work in the US. It all depends. And honestly, I would just call the governing body or whoever is, in charge of the licensing, ask them the next steps. And then kind of getting enrolled, not kind of, but if you're interested, getting enrolled and get up and running. But and some people might be saying, well, Dave, that's a big hurdle. That's a big roadblock. This is one of those things where it's what would you rather? So I got up at I typically get up at 5 a.m. I got up at 4 a.m. put in the extra hour, and that's why I was able to crush it in like 2 months. So I'm happy I did it, right? That was a year and a half ago or so now, and I don't regret it because now I'm getting commissions on a bunch of deals that I'm buying and selling that I was buying and selling anyway. Now it's just another source of income. I've got stock awards now and the revenue share. So you just got to get through it and kind of and get it done. Any other questions, guys? Don't be shy. Oh, Facebook user. She is amazing. Okay, awesome. I wonder if you're talking about Miwa or Destiny. They're both amazing though, so it doesn't matter who. Yeah, Miwa is in Southern California. Jordan, where'd it go? What are your thoughts on buying a storage unit property? Is that a good investment? Yeah, Jordan, I still have that tickle. We do have storage units. Not gonna lie, it is not our bread and butter. Like it's not like I wouldn't say I'm the storage unit expert guy, right? Like I wouldn't say come to me if you're looking to buy storage units. Do we have some? Yes. However, it's not. It's a very low percentage of our portfolio. Like I'm a multifamily. Mel and I are multifamily real estate investors. That's our bread and butter. So multifamily, purchasing it with creative financing and other people's money, OPM, and then paying back people and keeping the asset, right, and continuing to cash flow and refinancing over and over again. Like that's our play. That being said, like I said, do we have some storage units? Yes. I believe is it 12 or 15? Doesn't matter. But just to give you an idea, we do commercial units as well. We've got some buildings that are strictly commercial. The building I'm in, right? There's some commercial. There's 2 or 3 other commercial tenants, and then there's like I think 18 or 19 residential units. Sometimes we do. So this would be a mixed use building. Sometimes we do strictly residential. For example, I'm looking at one right now. It's a duplex in northern Texas. And people will tell me sometimes, Dave, why you've got a 50plex and now you're looking at a duplex. Like I literally had the conversation with the mortgage brokers a couple of days ago. They're like, why would you buy a duplex when, you've got 12 plexes, you got 17 plexes, you got a 50plex. Why would you, go back to a duplex is kind of how they're wording it. And the way I look at it is, does the deal make sense? Like, does it cash flow? Are the ratios all good? Am I able to get into it with creative financing? And then on the flip side, on the exit is, am I able to pay everyone back? Am I able to pay back all the creative financing and still keep the asset and still cash flow? Yes. Then why wouldn't I do a duplex? Why wouldn't I do a triplex? Why wouldn't I do a 5plex? So anyway, I kind of went on a rant there, Jordan. So storage units, yes, we have done, but short-term rentals we have as well. Again, it's not my huge, my main thing. It's the multifamily, but short-term rentals in Orlando, Costa Rica, Mexico, Dominican Republic. Which kind of leads into Sandra's question. You only do this in the USA? No. So Mel and I are in 5 different countries, right? Canada, US, Costa Rica, Mexico, Dominican Republic. I just have to think about it like, hey, what are the 5 again? Yeah, Canada, US, Costa Rica, Mexico, Dominican Republic. Jesse, do you teach creative financing to people that join? Yes. So we basically have 2 different avenues, right? So if you have your real estate license, then hey, maybe the Action Agents is for you, right? If you have your license, Action Agents, because that one you have to be licensed, right, to join us through eXp Realty. If you have your license and don't want to switch brokerages, you can also get the exact same thing through our Action Family mentoring program. Or if you're saying, Dave, I don't have my license and I have zero desire, or hey, Dave, I'm a mortgage broker, so it's a different license, then there's still our Action Family. So again, we have different options for you, excuse me. So if at the end of the day, you are saying, I want to buy income properties, I want to scale a portfolio, I don't want to do joint venture partners. Mel and I do not have JVs. We're very, very big on that. There's nothing wrong with JVs. It's just, we don't do them because I don't want to get into conflict with people. I'm not saying you will 100%. It's just, I don't even want to take the chance of having competing interests. So Mel and I solely own. So yeah, if whatever avenue you're looking at, we'll be able to help you get a portfolio, buy with creative financing and other people's money. And we can show you in the same 5 countries that we're doing it in. Jordan, okay, one I'm looking at is 80 units. Awesome. With one bedroom apartments and a catering business in the one building. So that sounds like you're looking at, well, you're looking at also if it's 80 units that are all one bedroom. And this is something, okay, let's clear it up. This will be a good learning experience. Some people, and everyone has different terms for everything. So if you're listening to this and you go, oh, 80 units, that might be a commercial. You're half right. So there's multifamily residential, which means 4 units and under. And everyone has a little bit of a difference. So sometimes the numbers get skewed. There's also multifamily commercial, meaning in this example, and let's put the business aside because now it's become a mixed use. But even if you have 5 units or over, it still is multifamily. It just becomes multifamily commercial when you start talking, in the world of appraisals and financing. So it's still multifamily with the 80 units, but it's just multifamily commercial, meaning 5 units or over. Now, the fact that there's a business in there, so kind of like the building that I'm in, it would now become mixed use. So, Jordan, I guess my question to you is, and this is how I look at it, because I'll buy mixed use buildings. I am buying it as a landlord / investor, meaning 80 storage units. Okay, let's keep going down this avenue. So that'll be a commercial. But let's say if it was 80 residential and 1 catering business, like you're not looking at taking over the catering business, right? You're just going to strictly rent them out a commercial unit with a VTB. Let's go to your next question, Jordan. Thanks for answering my question, Dave, very much. Yeah, 100%. Okay, good. So you're not taking over the catering business. You're just going to buy or looking to buy in the asset with 80 storage units and also a business there as well. Cool. Yeah. So again, just treat them as so 80 storage units and 1 commercial tenant. So this is strictly a commercial building then. There's no residential portion. So underwriting will be different, right? When they're looking at it. And when you have strictly commercial buildings, just know that your lending might be a little different depending where it is. Some lenders are more keen on doing residential where people are actually residing, right? But some lenders are okay with giving higher loan to values on strictly commercial buildings too. Storage units is kind of a different. You'll have to talk to the mortgage brokers about it. Same with student housing is a little bit different as well. Some lenders love it. Some lenders love it. Some lenders are a little stickier on it too. Stephanie, what would you do if you had $45,000 disposable income right now? Okay. Now, Stephanie, let's reverse engineer this. Where are you? And you don't have to tell me anything you don't want to. Where are you in your real estate investing journey? Like, do you have the knowledge of how to buy properties? Do you know how to do it, how to scale? Like, because that's going to help kind of guide me towards it. You guys can't see, but Millie, my dog's behind me. I put an old mattress for her to lay on, and instead she's laying on the hard floor. Oh, really? Why lay on a comfy mattress when you can lay on the floor, right? Makes sense. Yeah, so Stephanie, let me know that, and I'll kind of dive into your scenario. Jesse, okay, thank you. Oh, let me show Jesse's. Thank you. What if you're already with EXP but not on a team? So I've had a lot of this since I've joined EXP, Jesse. I've had a lot of this. Not to be honest with you, you're not going to like the answer because no one else has liked the answer, and it's not me. I didn't make it up. Basically, what I've asked is I've had an influx of this since I've joined last year in September. A lot of people message me saying, "Hey, how do I get on with you?" If you're already joined EXP, and this is why I tell people before you join, and please, I'm not trying to rub, what is that, salt in the wound or Jesse, but a lot of people, if you're thinking of joining, that's why picking your sponsor initially is very important, because once you're there, you literally have to leave for 6 months. Again, that's what they've told me. Don't ask them. Like, I'm not the rule maker here, the decision maker. But from what I've been told is you have to basically leave EXP for 6 months and then come back, and then you can come back under another sponsor. That's just what I've been. Anyway, there's 1 2-bedroom apartment attached to it. Yeah, so that's going to be a mixed use, Jordan. But it's mostly 99% comprised of. It almost sounds like the 2-bedroom apartment is almost like a like a superintendent they call something chambers. I can't think of it. I'm looking at a couple of buildings that have that. The owners' chambers or superintendent chambers, or yeah, that makes sense. Rafael, hi, Rafael Rino. Rafael used to be a part of our team here in North Bay, Ontario, Canada, and is back in Portugal. What's up? Oh, Brazil. Oh my gosh, Brazil. I'm mixing up. I have another team member who used to live in Brazil and now she's moved to Portugal. So when I picture her, I picture nice seeing you, Rafael. Hopefully everything is good, my friend. That's awesome. We have team members all over the world. Canada, US, Mexico, Brazil, Portugal, where else? Oh my gosh, Guatemala, Austria, South Africa, Nigeria, Philippines. I feel like I'm missing places. Yeah, anyway. Just curious. Okay, Jordan. Just curious, as it would be my first property, I would be pursuing and respect your opinion very much. Big undertaking as first investment. Honestly, Jordan, like I'm never going to be that guy to say don't go for it, because I've had so many people like that in my life saying don't go for it, take it safe, all of that stuff. Now, actually, let me back up. Definitely, you have to take action in life, right? That's why we have it's called the Action Family. It's called the Action Agents. I'm all about action, right? If you guys have been following us for a while, or if you're new to us, like we're all about that. Once I understand something, I'm all in. So when I say be safe, Jordan, I almost mean, or what I do mean is understand the dynamics, understand the investment, understand the space. And again, storage unit is not my realm. I have some, but it is not my expertise. I bought it as part of a mixed use building as well, came with it. But once you understand and it makes sense to you, then yeah, it's can it be safe? Yes. But if you don't understand the investment, you don't understand the space, you don't understand that asset class, then it's a little scary in my opinion. And I tell a lot of people too, sometimes it is good to walk before you run, right? Sometimes it is good to, because a lot of people saying, Dave, should I buy a 20plex for my first deal? You definitely can, but there will be, and that's where we have our mentoring program. We're going to show you as much things as possible and help you and understand a bunch of things. There will still be some things that you will go through that it is nicer to walk a little with 2 units than running with 20. So Jordan, I'm not saying don't do it. Sometimes it is nice to walk before you run. However, sometimes it's nice to dive right in. But again, I'm just not the storage unit go-to guy. All right. Darren, yes, we do need to chat. I agree with you, my friend. Rafael, nice seeing you too, man. Yeah, Rafael, hopefully everything's good with you. Last time I saw you, the little one was little. It's been a while. Anyway, I think about you once in a while, man. So miss you, Hafarino. All right, Jesse. Jesse, gotcha. That's why I heard, but wanted to check. Not a huge issue for me at the moment. Okay. Jesse, again, if you're interested, team, put the link. This goes to anyone. Put the link if you're interested in possibly actually put 2 links. Put the link if you're a real estate agent or thinking of becoming one, and you're looking at joining our group at EXP, then click that link. Now, I strongly recommend, guys, if you are speaking with someone else who is part of our action agents, okay, please do not book a call. Go directly through them, okay? If they introduce you to me or to us in our group, please go through them. Again, I always want to respect our action agents, okay? So go directly through them and they'll tell you the steps. And if you still want to chat with me, let's do it through them. Okay, guys? I want to keep everything on the up and up. If you, and also team, put the link is, or for, if you're not an agent or not thinking of becoming one, or if you are one and you're like, Dave, I'm not changing brokerages, but I still want to learn more about your action family, click that link to book a call with one of our team members and we can chat about that as well. Jordan. Yeah, right on. Thanks, Dave. Yeah, 100%. Jordan, good luck with whatever you decide with that asset. Oh, where'd it go? And who was it that asked that question? What should I do with? Stephanie, I don't think you got back to me, but I'll just kind of answer in two different ways. Okay. Yeah. A lot of people will come to me and then they have some funds and they'll say, "What should I do with this money?" Or when I go live on TikTok, sometimes there'll be a lot of younger folks that are saying, "What should I do in the beginning? How do I get started off?" It doesn't matter if you're 20 years old, 40 years old, 60 years old, 70. Like, it doesn't matter to me. It's anything you do in life, you should have some knowledge. Okay. And what I mean by that, and you might say, "Well, Dave, how do you gain that knowledge? How do you gain that experience? How do you get that um, so that you can go, let's just talk real estate, go down that venture of buying income properties?" Well, it's coaching and mentoring. And I heard a quote the other day and I love it. I want to do a post on this because it's so true. The person had said, I forget where I heard it. I guess it doesn't matter. It's not mine. So I'm just, copying someone else who had said it. It was one of those motivational things, I think, when I was working out. And it was just saying how yesterday's mistakes and yesterday's, losses and all that are tomorrow's experience and tomorrow's wins. And it's so true. Like, Mel and I went through so many mistakes, right? At one point, we had 18 properties in our own name. It was a mess. We went to go buy a house. They told us you can't qualify. We were showing the bank accounts. We're like, "Look, we have 18 properties. Look at the cash flow that's coming in. What do you mean my ratios are off?" And then they were like, "Well, your total debt service ratios and your total debt to income ratios are completely out to lunch." And that's when we learned the hard way how to flip those properties over into entities and paying a lot of money. And anyway, we got it done, and I don't regret it because, again, yesterday's losses, right? Those hard times that we had to go through are the reason why now people come to us and they're like, "I want your experience. I want to learn from your experience." Okay. And when I'm getting the long way here, Stephanie, and I know you had asked it a while ago, was the long way of answering is what I would do if I had some funds and I was looking at buying income properties, which I'm assuming that's what probably you're asking in the grand scheme of things. If you are looking at scaling a portfolio, buying properties, um, in my opinion, you should have some knowledge, some education, and some coaching and mentoring. Like, especially real estate. Like, you're not buying something that is well, real estate isn't cheap, right? You're literally going to be spending or buying something that is hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, right? Hundreds of thousands of dollars. So that's when I tell people, please don't risk that, right? Like, we're not playing with small potatoes or whatever that saying is. We're talking about big ticket items. So if that's something you're interested in, again, don't do like Mel and I. I wish I would have gotten coaching and mentoring in the beginning and avoid all those mistakes and headaches. Again, I'm happy I went through it because now I'm able to help the Action family and help a lot of people change their lives. But what I'm getting at is that's not everyone's journey, right? Not everyone wants to make a ton of mistakes. Jordan, where'd it go? Jordan, how do you get over that initial fear of investing and pulling the trigger? Any recommendations? Honestly, Jordan, like, whenever I'm fearful and doubtful, and this usually happens when Mel and I go into a new market. This is why I have my cash flow analysis matrix, right? We've actually had a trademark. I put the deal in the matrix. Does it make sense? Yes or no? Once I see that a deal makes sense, I'm confident because I've done my market research. I understand that, quadrant number one of what I've built out, it shows me that the deal makes sense and I'm healthy. And then I've built out my exit strategy in quadrant number three, knowing that I am going to be able to pay out the investors that I raise capital from. So that makes me a million times more confident when I'm doing a deal. Is I know the deal is sound. I know my numbers are sound. And now it's just a matter of, all right. And you said that initial fear. Yeah. So the first time definitely will be the hardest. We all remember our first deal. If I have other investors in the room here, we all remember our first deal. The first one's the toughest. And then after you go through it and you're like, "Hey, you know what? I'm still alive. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was." Or especially if you've had coaching and training, then you're like, "Okay, yeah, this is exactly what I expected." Maybe there was a little twist or, a wrench or whatever that saying is. But for the most part, everything is what I expected and everything was what we had gone through. So it's as soon as you know the numbers are solid, then it's just literally taking that next step to crossing that finish line. And a lot of people will get, what's the word I want to use here? I was gonna say handcuffed, not really handcuffed. A lot of people will get that paralysis analysis and it becomes stronger than them, right? And I see a lot of people that if you don't have sound numbers and you don't know necessarily if you have your exit strategy and you don't know if the market is good or what you've done is correct, that's where those fears and those doubts come in, right? Because you're like, oh, do I really know the market? Have I really done the numbers correctly? Am I really having an exit strategy? So that's why, again, having that knowledge and knowing, yep, no, this is factual. I've been taught how to look at numbers. I've been taught how to look at deals. This deal makes sense. That is a non-negotiable anymore, right? This is factual. So now let's go ahead and pull the trigger. So I just find that it makes you it does make you a lot more solid when you're making decisions, right? Hopefully that helps, Jordan. We've all had our first deal. Whenever I'm going to a new country, right? Whenever, like when we went to Costa Rica, when we went to the US, when we went to Mexico, Dominican, right? Every time we go into a different state, like we just closed in Ohio, because we're in Texas, Florida, and Ohio. Now I'm looking at Alabama. I'm kind of getting the same thing as you do. I'm like, oh, Alabama, a new state, right? So, but the process is the same. I put the deal in the matrix. I know that the deal is solid. I just go through the due diligence, and if the deal makes sense and I've got an exit to pay people, I'll do the deal all day, every day. Good questions, guys. So, so a couple of different things. I want to leave you guys with, let's do a couple more minutes of Q&A. I do have a meeting today in 8 minutes because we've opened up this year recently more one-on-one coaching and training. So I actually have a meeting with someone that I'm doing one-on-one with. If that's something, guys, I'll give you a couple options, okay? Like we always talk about. So today's presentation was more about the real estate agent side of things earlier. So if you're just joining now, you're thinking, what presentation, Dave? But we are part of EXP, myself, and we have a group there, community. I don't like saying team because with real estate agents, team has a different meaning. But I'm a team guy, so I have a hard time not saying team. So a community there of real estate agents. And if you are an agent or thinking of becoming one and you want to join EXP through us, just send me a message. Or I know the team has a link here. Team, you don't have to put the link again. We already have it there. What else was I going to say? Or if you don't want to change brokerages or you don't want to be a real estate agent like I was for the last 10 years investing. I was like, I'm not an agent, right? You don't need to be. So again, you can always join the Action family and just book a call with one of our team members and we can chat about it. Or if you're saying, Dave, I need to be directly with you, because in the Action family's group coaching and mentoring, which it's still Mel and I answering, but it's in a group setting. If you are thinking I need to be directly with either Dave yourself or with one of the Action family leaders, there's also, team, put the link to fill out the form for one-on-one. Again, this isn't for everyone. It is more expensive because it is directly one-on-one. We customize the approach more and all that towards your direct needs. So anyway, there's a lot of different options. At the end of the day, if you want to buy real estate, we can help you. Maybe I'm throwing too much options at you, but I just want to give people some different avenues so that if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling I can't do this, there is a way. We'll definitely be able to help you. Our Action family has over 2,000 members now. If I can do it, if they can do it, why can't you do it, right? You just need, Mel always says it. What is it? Oh gosh, the success triangle. Let's see if I remember, because this is her thing. It is knowledge. Okay, so knowledge. We have the knowledge to be able to help you. We've been doing this, okay? We do it in 5 different countries. Resources. We will be able to introduce you to all the pros, right? The lawyers, the accountants, the mortgage brokers, insurance brokers, real estate agents. We'll show you how to raise private funds, right? So you'll be able to get the resources. So knowledge and resources, we've got you covered. The third one is where you need to come into play. Action. This is why we call it Action Family and Action Agents. And this is where your will, your drive, your what do the coaches say for hockey? Compete, right? My little guy. He's 9. They say, the kids have to compete. Action at the end of the day. That's all I'm saying. So as knowledge, resources, I've got you covered all day, every day, but action is what you need to take. And if that's something you're looking at doing, again, we have all the different platforms here, the links. Okay, guys. So don't be shy. Jordan, it's something I've always thought about. Where to go? It's something I've always thought about. Oh, but getting your license is probably helpful with investing. You do not need your license to invest, guys. Okay, I just want to be clear because that's something now that I've got my license that a lot of people will say, "Oh, well, I probably should have it," and I almost want to say because I don't want that to be a. Whoops, I'm smashing my watch here. Mel got me a smartwatch for Christmas here, and here I am smashing it already. God, what was I saying? I just don't want you thinking, "Oh, I'll wait to get my real estate license to be an investor." No, 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 no. Don't think that at all. Okay, don't give yourself that crutch or that excuse. Can you get your license? Will it be a bonus? Will it be gravy? Yeah, if you want, but you don't need it. So if you're thinking of investing, just because I have my license now does not mean that you need it. Okay, I want to be very clear on that because I'm always worried that people think, "Oh, well, Dave has his license. He must have thought that he needed it." No, no, no. A lot of different things came into play. I'm doing deals. I might as well get paid on them at the same time, right? And then also now we're able to introduce our action family to our Daryl, one of our action family leaders, helps me with this. And we're constantly communicating with investor focused agents all throughout the US, all throughout Canada, Costa Rica, Mexico, and Dominican Republic. So again, I wanted to give more value to our action family. So this was another way by getting my license, I was able to do so. But if you do want to join the EXP, you do need your license. Okay, just so you guys know. Awesome. Okay, everyone, don't be shy to reach out to us. We can help you either way. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you guys being here with us. I'm actually going live tomorrow as well, noon. Tomorrow's going to be more just general Q&A on real estate and creative financing and that. So again, I'll be here 12 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, live on all social media platforms. Bring your questions. See, even my mug has action. Okay, bring your questions. See you tomorrow. Thanks.